Welcome to the third installment of Phoenix Masonry Live's Masonic Artifact Series.
I am Frederick L. Milliken, Executive Director of Phoenix Masonry.
And I am Elena Llamas, Director of Public Relations for Phoenix Masonry. Now, Masonic artifacts do not have to be old to be collection and museum worthy.
Today, we are going to show you, as our Artifact of the Month, a three-part video series on Jim McBeth's beautifully handcrafted Masonic knives.
Frederick was able to visit Jim at his home in Boerne, Texas, and film these wonderful videos. Make sure to catch all three of them on our social media and YouTube channel.
Okay, now we're in part two here. We're out in the shop with Jim McBeth Knives, and we're going to see how he actually creates a knife. From step one to right through all the other steps to the last step. So Jim, let's start off with the first thing you do.
Okay, Brother Fred, thank you. One of the things we have to do before we actually do anything is we have to, since I make all my own knife pins, and that's the things that hold accentuate and hold the wood, if you will, to the handle. The knives that you can see here have holes in them, and so some people just put plain brass pins in them. I have some here that I could, if I wanted to, just use a brass pin and put in there, but I like to use a little bit of what we call mosaic patterns to my knife pins, and I'll show you that. I buy a lot of different size brass rods, copper rods, tubes, and so forth. And you can see right here, for example, this one is a 3/16 inch tube, and I've actually put a lot of little rods in there. I've got in there, you can't see it right now, but there's a square tube in there. And so what I do then is I apply a vacuum process that pulls epoxy up through this tube, and then I have to actually leave it overnight to, and I've done one right here, for example, that I did yesterday. And so what I do is I take these top and bottom off this, and what's got left is the pin now has got to be just sanded on the bottom and on the top, and this tape removed. And once we've done that, then we wound up with a pin like this one. Now this is a 1/4 inch pin, and it's got a mosaic pattern to it. It's a 1/4 inch brass tube. It's got a 5/8 inch square tube made out of copper in it. This is going to be a beautiful pin, and I've chosen to use it in this particular knife. And this is my Sidewinder model that I've done quite a few of. But the holes are only 1/4 inch, so I've got to drill a little bit bigger holes in that. So I'm going to go over to the drill that I've got set up and place that in the drill press. Put that down there, tighten it in there real good. I've already got the drill bit set up, and I've slowed this down. This has to run at somewhere in like 400 RPMs to cut into metal, whereas if you're drilling into wood, then it goes in up to 1600 RPMs. So in order to make sure I can do this, I've got to make sure where this is, clamp it down, which doesn't take just a couple of seconds. Make sure nothing's moving. The knife's not going to move in the vise, and the vise is not going to move on there. Now also, you have to apply some cutting oil so that it doesn't burn, so we got that going. So we turn this on. That's one. Bear with me just a second. We have the second one to do. So we move the vise over, get this set up for the second hole. And once we've done that, then we clamp it down again. Apply some cutting oil to that particular hole. got now our, I'll show it to you as soon as I get this oil and debris out of the holes. And now we've got a hole where that pin will fit through it very nicely. All right, that takes care of that step of it. Now the next step was to take the choice of wood. And this is some exotic wood that I have here. And this is Wingay wood. It's very dark wood, but it's beautifully grained. I just simply put the knife on it, take a pencil, and draw an outline on it, which I've already done for this particular knife. The next I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the bandsaw, and cut that out. Before I do, like any good chef in a kitchen, in the shop, I need an apron on. The things might get a little bit noisy and a little bit messy. Now in my shop, I have a huge dust collector, and I've asked Brother Fred to put his earmuffs on, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to go to the saw this out real quick, and then I'll be through with for the next step. So when I just got through sawing that out, now I have the left and right sides for the knife that's going to go onto this particular knife. The next step on this would be to put these and drill holes now through the holes that we just drilled into the knife into these pieces of wood. All right, once we've done that, then we reach, I'm going to set this knife aside because that's the next step. I've already done that on another knife, like they do in the cooking shows, Brother Fred. I did this, I did a second one, and we're at that next stage. So rather than spend the time on that, to show you the next stage, I've got this knife where I've already prepared the handles. Let me get these pins out. So I've already prepared the handles like I did there. And I've already pre-drilled the holes in there. And then if you can see, maybe you can't see on that very good, but I've also cut some marks inside the area and the sides that's going to go next to the blade itself, the handle, to have additional epoxy. So what I'm going to do now then is to actually glue and put epoxy in there. So that's the next step. And in order to do that, we have a little bow and a little popsicle stick. We take out our epoxy and we do a 50% mixture. This is the actual resin that's used, and this is the hardener. So it's a two-stage process of getting, it doesn't glue anything until you put the hardener in it. And so that's a 50-50 mixture to do that. Once we've done that, we have to mix it up. And when you mix it up, it turns an opaque color. Again, I should be wearing gloves for this. I actually have a pair of gloves. They're rubber gloves, surgical gloves, because this stuff is hard to get off your hands. Okay, so I'm going to take one side of this and I'm going to lather the side with this epoxy and make sure I've got a little bit on the end. And then I'm going to actually put that on the side of the knife, and I'm going to put this pin in that one and that pin in that one. So the next thing I do is the other side. Get that lathered up real good, and some on the end. And once I've done that, then I can set it back down, put these pins in there, and then I take some clamps that are specially made for knife making. And I've got two of them right here. And what we do is we put, if I can remember which way is which, You have to clamp these down for that epoxy. It has to be about 24 hours. They say you can do, they say you can do it in less than that. I don't. I want to make sure it sets up really, really well. Once we've done that, this is all I can do to this particular knife. So I get it really good and tight, and I have to wipe off the excess that squeezes out on the bolster area of this knife. Otherwise I'll be having to take a knife after it's all said and done, and it takes a little time to get that mess off. So there's that, and we've gone through the process of getting the pins made, of cutting out, getting the holes cut out, getting the handles prepared on the inside, then the actual epoxy or gluing process. This sets up overnight. Now I did one yesterday for this visit with Brother Fred, and I'm now taking the clamps off of it, and I'll show you this knife so you can have a better idea. This is a beautiful, if you look at this exotic wood here, this is called black limba. This exotic wood, and this was out of, I want to say Africa. Again, it's real pretty. Now there's some pins you can see from the side. I got some pins that are sticking through. I got to cut those off. So I'm going to go over here to where I can put this in a vise. And turn this on. So once that's done, you can see now those pins are cut off pretty much close to the wood. So the next step is to go through a process, and we'll go over back to this big heavy-duty sander I have. Now I wanted to bring it over and show you, not only did we smooth this out, but I'm going to show you how we fashioned and fashioned the handle a little bit, more than just being straight across. We fashioned it to where the grip is going to be a lot better. And you can see the ends now on the knife, and these have already been finished, they're polished. And so the next step would be to totally get over here on the sander again and take this all the way down to the spine of the knife, all the way down to here, so that this is all flush here. And in doing that, the next step would be then is the long process of file work and so forth. Now what I want to show you is one that we've already done, and I'll sit down and show you that. That's okay, Brother Fred. You'll notice for this knife we've already done the same thing, and we've taken that down to the spine all the way to the knife.